For those of you at home, Richie Stanaway from Gary Rogers Motorsport has been stood down from the team for disciplinary reasons.
Can you shed some light on what's going on?
Yeah, so basically we had a merchandise signing session this morning. Just rather than looking at the schedule, I just assumed that would be the same today. Done everything I can, you know, so it's not like I've just been doing other things that could give them a reason to do this, so yeah, it's just disappointing.
Very disappointing, mate. You're clearly, obviously, shocked by this, so we'll leave you to it, but yeah, really sorry to see that, mate.
Thanks.
Richie Stanaway.
If you had said a few years ago that Richie Stanaway would be a fan favourite driver making a comeback, you would have been laughed off of any social media that you were posting that opinion to. Richie had just been fired by one of the most popular team owners in the supercars industry after being let go from Tickford after that drifting incident. The fan support for Stanaway at the end of 2019 was small to abysmal at best. It seemed like the former race winner was on his way out of the sport for good. However, as we know, supercars is an interesting industry and anything can change at a moment's notice.
That's record breaker.
This is a really big and significant story.
Greg Murphy teaming up with fellow Kiwi Richie Stanaway.
The announcement that Richie Stanaway would be teaming up with fan favourite and Kiwi hero Greg Murphy was a game changer. Despite the year-long wait to see these two run at the mountain, this pairing has single-handedly brought Stanaway back into the supercars business. And Stanaway drove it like he hadn't been out of supercars for multiple years. He had absolutely no rust, and it was clear throughout the whole weekend that he was comfortable where he was. Qualifying in the top 10 and mostly racing back through the middle pack after Greg Murphy's stints, he did very good that weekend and put himself in places that nobody actually expected him to be. There were points in the race where he was even racing against the leaders like Shane van Gisbergen, and he didn't look out of comfort. Even in the wet weather qualifying where many people were struggling, he just had his foot down, and in the right places he was doing the right things. It's easy to say that being with Murphy changed the fans' perception of him, but this one weekend and the build up towards it, Richie Stanaway did more to change his perception than I think anyone else could have. I do think it's easy to forget though how, despite the incidents he had in his early career and perhaps the carelessness he carried around him, he wasn't in supercars for no reason. And if it hadn't have been for the slower driver in Greg Murphy, I do believe that Richie Stanaway could have been fighting amongst the top 10 and fighting for that win. And it's not for nothing either. Like, as Mark Scaife always says, he's a GP2 race winner. He's won multiple races at GP3. He is skilled and he has shown it internationally. He has raced in the highest caliber of European motorsport. The past few years have obviously been difficult for him outside of supercars, but now he's back and a lot of fans want to see him do well, want to see him given opportunities, and after Bathurst there was a huge push for him to have a drive, or at least a certain co-drive for next year. And of course, yesterday it was announced Van Gisbergen and Stanaway will be teaming up for Sandown and Bathurst next year, which is huge. Stanaway deserves this, and not just Stanaway, but Shane van Gisbergen as well. Shane is in the most winningest form of his career I've ever seen. He is dominant and unstoppable. The past year has been crazy, and I think this is just going to be an amazing combo for the endurance rounds. And this is such a strong vote of confidence in Stanaway, having Shane van Gisbergen and Red Bull back you. That's not a small feat. So like many others, I'm excited to see where this goes, and I hope for all the best for both of them. Do you guys agree? If you do, let me know in the comments below, or even if you don't. And don't forget to subscribe and like if you enjoyed my content. It really does help out the channel. But anyway, that's my thoughts on the topic, and I really hope to see Stanaway doing well in the next few years. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you next time.